All right, we're back. We took a week hiatus because we're both old and we need some time off, but mostly
Oh,
me.
it had nothing to do with me being old, dude.
I
Had
guess
another function.
older.
It's funny. I had like another function to do, and I could have done it, and you're like, I don't want
Oh
to do
no,
that.
it wasn't just you because on my side, like one of our family neighbors, like a neighbor in the neighborhood, right? They start fostering a kid too, and they needed a whole bunch of help.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a
okay,
bad situation, like from Arizona.
okay,
So we were just
okay.
helping them out. Like, dude, I wasn't done until like 8:50, so it actually kind of worked for me because like the kid was at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, the father is a junkie or whatever, but then
Oh,
the
okay.
yeah the maternal grandmother gotta get the boy out of that situation. So
Okay.
they
Yeah.
flew the boy here, and then got all that, and then we seen him a few times this week. So it's been pretty exhausting, just trying to help somebody out, like get the
Oh,
foster
yeah.
thing started for
Yeah.
them too. Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
nice. It's close enough
Hey.
to walk to from our house too, so that was pretty nice.
Okay.
Let me tell
Okay.
you something before we start on the Wolverine. So
Okay.
we met a few of that lady's sisters, right? I think she's Hispanic. I'm not sure she's Mexican, even though in Texas. She have a lot of sisters. So I met like
Okay.
two of them. They were kind of young. I'm like, oh, my name is Lamb. I live at that house right there. One of the sisters says to me, oh, you're the house with the full candy bars, full size candy bars. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow.
I was like, because I think
So,
fun size is speed crap. Oh, I didn't say it like that. I say it very passionately.
oh, okay.
Because like fun, I hate fun size. Fun size are not fun.
You said it was bee crap.
I said bullshit. My line is like
Oh,
fun
okay.
size
Well,
is
I was just saying
bullshit.
because I think it's okay to say bull crap.
Yeah, no, but I was really passionate. I'm very passionate about food. You should know this. Like, no, fun
I,
size.
I do know that.
You go full size or nothing. I just thought that was pretty
Man,
funny because
I,
I told
I
Heather.
I'm sorry if I do candy, you're getting a fun size. That's it.
No, because I told Heather like, yeah, I met one of her sisters, and that was the first thing she said to me. She's like, no, she did not. I'm like, yes, you sure did.
That's the thing though. If I did Halloween at your house way back when I was a kid, I'd be like, I'm coming by your house a couple more times and then I'm done.
You can. I mean,
Oh, I know you can.
me and Heather checked the camera because then there's so many kids that want to hit so many houses
Oh, wait. You
that.
don't even open the door?
Oh no, we did like a lot.
Oh, okay.
There's few times my dad is the one that filled up the candy.
Oh,
Only
okay.
like last year, we didn't see any duplicates, right? Like duplicate person, like I even
Yeah,
check
yeah.
whatever. But the couple of years before, there's only been like maybe a handful of kids, like three or four, that actually came back to get seconds or thirds.
Well,
But
why
then,
wouldn't you? I mean, come
oh
on, you
yeah,
got the best candy on the block.
but
Well,
then
apparently the
the
last couple of years you didn't. Somebody got you beat.
but the thing I with me is
You
like
need to
they
give
could
them a
go ahead,
trick.
they can go ahead, they can go ahead and come back, right? Because if the candy is at my house, I wouldn't be eating it, so I don't want to. I bought
Yeah.
this for the
Well,
kids.
I mean, it is called trigger or treat.
Yeah,
So trick or treat. So,
and it's so
I
funny.
mean,
Heather, she doesn't just want to give out the candy, right? So every year we have a package of like a Capri Sun with the candy. So that way, if you eat the candy, right, you
even
have a
better.
drink.
It's even better.
you
I
have a
would rather
drink.
have. I would actually just go for the Capri Sun. I mean, you could give me
Really?
crappy candy and give me a Capri. Yeah, because you always need something to drink to wash that candy down.
That's exactly her thought.
I mean,
I
come
was like,
on.
can we just do a
I mean,
bottle of water? She's
everybody
like,
give you
no.
candy. Everybody giving you candy.
Yeah,
It's like,
everybody.
hey,
Yep.
here's you a Capri Sun. I have never got anything to drink with my stuff.
Oh yeah, we have a Capri Sun with a full size candy bar.
Yeah, because you got to look around for a water fountain sometimes.
Yeah, it's a whole. We have a juice here. Yeah,
So
go ahead.
usually you don't. You really, honestly, we should be joking because I mean, you don't need to be eating your candy until you get home and look at it.
Oh, they could eat it. They just come back because I'm probably going to get
I
like
know,
300
but what
balls
I'm
this time.
saying though is you really probably shouldn't eat your candy out in the
Oh yeah,
dark
yeah.
because all the weirdos
I'm
out.
gonna get like 300 balls this time so I could count. Cause last time we have like over 185 and it was all gone by like
While we're on
8:30.
while we're on the subject of Halloween, somebody's put a post on Facebook. I don't know if it's true or not, but it
Okay.
said this was the first time in 100. Wait, this was the first time. Yeah, it says Halloween falls on a Friday 13th this year,
Yes. No, no, no.
and
But Friday the 13th was September. 31st is
yeah, somebody was
Thursday. Yeah.
scooped.
Oh,
Somebody was
okay.
just making a joke.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Oh.
Someone's making a joke. They wrote that, and then they wrote that's the first time in 666 years.
Ha!
Get it? Get it?
I got it now.
But the funny thing is, they put that post. You know what I wrote on there? I wrote best Halloween ever.
Oh, that's good. That's funny.
Yeah, come on, come on. No way Halloween's gonna be on the Friday the 13th.
I know. Yeah. For Halloween's on
Early,
Friday the 13th
early.
this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So one of the first things I want to talk about, right, with this movie is, and then also, I guess Days of Future
It is called
Past,
The Wolverine.
the Wolverine. And I think this is one of the best attempts. So I want to know what you think that Fox did to. This is a direct sequel to The Last Stand, right? Do you agree?
I would say it comes after I would
It's the
say it comes
events.
right
Yep.
after. I mean, because we got to say though that the Wolverine Origins was kind of the origins, but it was after the second X-Men.
Origins after the second X Men. Are you
Don't
talking
you
about
think it
when it
was
came out?
after? Well, no, you're right.
The
It was before.
Wolverine origin is
Yeah,
before the X Men movies.
yeah, it's before the
The
X-Men
timeline,
movies.
yeah.
Even though I think the origin was affected by the X-Men movies because then they added some people to go, hey, look, we got to
Oh
figure
yeah,
out how
yeah,
to tie
yeah.
this in somehow,
Yep.
even more than the comic books did. But yeah, this one I would say this came right after it.
The Last Stand, yes.
Yeah, it comes after the last stand, but you got to think at the end of this they have a credit scene. Well, not a before credit scene where they
A
tie
mid
into it.
credit scene, yeah.
They try into another X-Men movie.
So yeah, so this is kind of like Fox's attempt of an MCU with just the mutants.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just the mutants.
So I thought
But
that
yeah,
was pretty good because I didn't notice that in the first time. Like this time I did. I don't know why. Because
well, I mean, I think they cemented it better into the X-Men. They made them the X-Men universe now with this movie.
yes, with this movie,
Because you had three X-Men, then you had the Wolverine movie. And of course, the Wolverine movie, anybody watching the Origins knew it tied into the first three X-Men.
yes,
But by this time, they've already had X-Men. What was that? They should have already had that other X-Men First Class out, right?
because X Men First Class came out after this movie.
Okay.
I
No,
think
that's
I feel
movie.
like to me, like we eventually will do that, right? X Men First Class just to add the characters so they can do Days of the Future Past, which is
Yeah.
Days of the Future Past is directly associated with the end credits of this movie, the
Yes.
mid scene credit scene.
So, I mean, they basically helped build their universes,
Yes, I thought
which
it
is
did
probably
really
good.
well.
Which
Yes,
they're good because I
I
forgot about
agree.
this. I mean, I knew this Wolverine. I watched this Wolverine a few times. I
This
didn't
actually
watch as
this one's
many.
good.
Oh, this one is the
This
best.
is the very good.
This is the best.
This is the first
Well,
time
I don't
like
know.
he's super jacked up as the Wolverine, you know,
Oh
like the
yeah, I mean
wide body.
this movie was good. Well, it was more of a Wolverine comic book story.
Yes, because it's the Japan are back in the 80s, right? Because Yukio's in this one
Yeah, Yukiya is in this one.
because she's more associated with Wolverine than
But
Deadpool.
actually, what's her name? Is it Mike? I don't know how to say her. Mikio?
Okay. You talking
His
about the
wife?
granddaughter, right?
Yeah. Well, it's his wife in the comic books.
Oh,
He marries that girl, or he almost
yeah,
got
Moriko,
Mori-
whatever, yeah,
Mirko. Well, we're gonna butcher all these Japanese names.
yeah,
Get
we are.
ready, because like
Well,
she
I know
said
how
in
to
the
say
movie,
Sinjin.
like she said in the movie, because you're not Japanese,
Yeah.
because we are Gaijin, man.
maybe just you.
I am. You're a foreigner.
Okay. I'm a
You're no
foreigner
Japan.
to that
You're no
country.
Ja-
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I'm a
you're no
foreigner.
Japanese.
But you know what's really funny that I didn't know? One of the notes
Okay.
I put, right? Remember they were eating at that sleazy hotel, and then like Logan put his
Well, it's not sleazy. It's a love hotel.
Oh, it's a love
People
hotel,
go
okay.
there for fantasy.
mission
and
to
love.
Mars, please. Okay. Remember he
Yeah.
put the chopsticks in the rice, and then
Yeah.
she said it's bad omen, right? I want to explain that to you. There's also a
Oh, I
bad
know.
omen for Chinese people too.
Oh, it's bad omen. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. It's all bad. Well, I understand through you because you've actually told me the story before.
Oh yeah, the incense
I'm gonna
thing, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you tell the story now.
Yeah.
I never heard the incense thing
So
for the funeral, but
So-
you told me, and so other people, actually Asian people, told me why you don't
Yeah.
put chopsticks
yeah.
in up in your deal because I've done it before, and so it's like, hey,
Oh
you
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
do- you don't do that.
Heather did that too because it's the rice
And it
is
makes-
sticky because it's
And I'm gonna
easy
go
to
ahead and
stick
let you
in there.
and go ahead and let you tell you, but I mean it makes perfect sense why you wouldn't,
Yeah.
other than the omens and all that other
Because
stuff.
it represents the incense, and incense is something you put like for dead people to eat. Like the incense represents food. So when you
Oh.
do that in front of another individual, right? It's like I don't respect you. I wish like you were
Oh,
dead
okay.
or something.
See, the
why I
only
do
place
that
you can
for
see
you.
that here in America is like in some goth chick's house or something like that.
Yes, yeah, the incense represents the dead. Yep, I highly agree, man.
It
Like
really
when I
doesn't.
heard that, I was like,
Actually, a lot of people just cover their weed here in America.
oh. So I thought that was pretty cool. I did like no, this one was really good. I like the whole intro of it when he's in Did they ever say where he was? I think my notes here that say he was in Yukon.
Oh, the start of the movie.
Yeah, I saw the movie. Oh yeah, he's in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess he was in Canada. I
Yeah,
just know
it's
that.
never really saying. It doesn't really matter where he was. I
Doesn't really
thought,
matter. I mean, come on, he's got long hair. He's living out in the bush,
yeah, he
and he
just
comes to town just for some batteries because he listens to radio because he's all crushed about killing Jean
killing
Grey,
Jean Grey.
which
Did you
is
like that?
okay.
I mean, she's in a lot of the movie.
Yeah, she's in a lot of movies. Apparently, I'm okay with it. I didn't. I like. Let's put it this way: when I first saw this movie a long time ago, oh, it made sense. I was really into it.
Mm-hmm.
And this time, I seen it. I liked it, but I was like, I didn't really need that much of it. The Jean Grey character now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but I like the movie. I actually almost like the movie more now than I did when I saw it a long time ago. But
Well,
I thought it was good back then.
no, I mean, like it's still good to this day when I recently just rewatched it for our show. But I did like adding the Jean Grey because it shows you like not
Well,
even
I
in
need
this
the
movie.
character, but I don't
Oh,
think you need it near as much.
oh, okay.
Because in the comic books, the thing is, he liked her in the
Yeah.
comic books, but not near as much as it portrays in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Because really, the main character in this movie, the woman that he should have been more in love and did everything for, and almost
Noriko.
did. Yeah, exactly. Because she is a major character. And of course, I always thought the Silver Samurai, was her dad, and I think it is in the comic books. It's her dad.
Oh, but in the movie, it's just her grandfather.
Because the first comic book, I wish I would have got it. I would have had to dig to find it. The first time I ever actually went to the comic book store and bought a Wolverine comic book that was old was one of the ones where he was marrying her.
Oh,
And fighting
really?
Samurai. Yeah, I
So,
should have got it dug
so
it out.
you got the one that's written by Frank Miller because the Japanese story is
Yeah,
written
I
by
think
Frank Miller.
I
Yeah,
think it's a Frank Miller one. Yeah.
yeah,
I got a lot of Frank Miller stuff because then the first Daredevil I ever got was Frank Miller.
yeah.
So.
That and because Daredevil was also, I mean, Elektra is created during
Basically,
Frank
a lot
Miller.
of stuff. Yeah, basically, if you got a lot of stuff in the '80s, you got
It's Frank Miller, yeah, because he's
yeah, he was
making it
like,
work.
well, he was, man, that guy must have been, if you think about it, man, that guy must have been a busy guy. Wolverine, Daredevil, Batman, man, the dude wrote everything.
Yeah, he
So,
just
in a way,
good writer. I mean, he's still a
yeah,
good writer.
was he Stan Lee
Well, Stanley just had to come up
during
a
the
whole bunch of
80s?
stuff that had to work, though. Like even
Yeah, well,
since
he
the
came out with a bunch of
60s.
stories and they drew it, but you got Frank Miller making all these stories too, man. Think about it.
He does, but then he's already using. Well, he created some new characters, but a lot of times he's basing his stories on characters already, created.
Yeah, but you got to think though, he still worked the way that Stan Lee would work because
Yeah.
he worked with people to create people.
Yeah. Oh,
And
but
a lot of
I was gonna touch back on the Jean Grey thing. I
okay,
like. It's okay that I didn't matter to me like how much she was in the movie or not, but I did like that it shows the emotion that Logan is going through in this
yeah,
movie and in the Logan movie. It's because it's about like, oh, he experienced a loss, right? Kind of like in Deadpool 2, like once they lost a loved one, they have that thing where like they don't want to live anymore. It's like, what's the
yeah,
point? But then
yeah.
they can't die.
Which is funny. Yeah, exactly. It's about the
So I
irony
did like
that
that.
you've
Yeah.
seen quite a few times in the
Yeah,
comic book.
it's just repetitive for Wolverine. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't die. Like, oh, boo hoo,
Oh,
They
yeah.
even
After a
mentioned that
while,
in Deadpool and Wolverine. That is their thing, right? That is their thing. Like,
yeah,
oh, I can't die. Oh, oh.
yeah, it is.
But I did
But
like
no,
the element of that, though.
oh yeah, the movie was. I mean, the movie was good. I mean, there's nothing negative really to say about the movie. But if I had to say something negative, it'd be about when he goes to fight the Silver Samurai.
Yeah,
How quick that goes by because you got this long movie and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got, and then a lot of movies are like this. A lot of superhero movies, it's like, oh, we finally get to the boss field. Hey, you got to make it quick because we're running out of time for the movie now.
yeah. Did you feel that this movie wasn't that long though? Was it? Oh,
No, this movie
126
wasn't.
minutes. It's a little over 2 hours.
Oh, it was longer than Origins,
Oh yeah, it's longer than Orange. Oh,
but it was
yeah.
way better. But it's also way better than
It
Origins.
is way better than Origins.
Which Origins now is has been elevated since I've seen it too.
How do you mean elevated?
Oh, I like it a little more than I have a little more respect for Origins than I did.
Oh yeah,
But I guess that's probably because I watched it with because we watched all these movies together,
yeah, that's true too.
and I've had more time to compare. Plus, when Origins come out, I hated it, but I also watched the crap out of it. This movie, I love this movie more than Origins, but the funniest reason I can't remember watching it near as many times. I guess because I probably had more of a life for that period of time. And
There was a lot
and
more superhero movie. Like this was 2013 though.
yeah, there
I
was a
mean,
lot
like
more
this
to
is
see.
after the Avengers came out.
Yeah, that's probably why there's a lot more to
There's a
see.
lot
And
more
by
to
then,
see at this
and
time.
by time that time, you're like, yeah, who cares about X-Men and
So you know
Wolverine?
it's really funny because I never seen this in the theaters.
I didn't get to see this in the theaters either.
Dude, I never seen X Men
I saw it.
Origins.
I went and bought it because somebody said, oh, it was pretty good, and then I went and got it. I was like, yeah, this is pretty awesome, so I bought it. I
Come on,
wanted to see it in the
he's
theater
in
because
Japan, man.
it
Come
was
on.
the Wolverine, dude. Yeah, where everybody has sharp swords.
Yep.
I mean, he's got six, but everybody else has got one that they hold with two hands.
Yeah. I did like the Silver Samurai because it's the first time I seen that character on screen, right? Because the
Oh, it's pretty neat. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like
pretty neat.
it's in the X Men game, like
But
the Street Fighter
but the
style game,
samurai,
but
but he's supposed to be a dude in a suit, not a I mean, not a
well,
big old
technically
giant.
he's a yeah, this is
Yeah,
a dude in a suit.
he's kind of well, he's an Iron Man, kind of like an Iron Man.
Yeah. Was it too big for you in like Silver Samurai? The way they
Eh,
predicted is a little bit bigger than I thought it would have been.
he's a little bit bigger than he should have been, but
Okay,
I was
that's what I
okay
thought
with
too.
it.
Like, yeah, I was okay with
Yeah,
it too.
I think they should have made because normally samurai, I think he's supposed to be the size of a normal man.
Yeah, I forgot
But
that they had to heat up the sword so that way he could cut up his
but that's what
claws.
I do want to talk about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so he heats up at the antimanium
Mm-hmm.
to cut
And to me,
hard antimanium. Where in science does that ever really work?
okay, so I thought you have to hit it in high heat so that way it touches it, right? It either melts it, but I don't understand that. Why does it cut it? Like it should be
Yeah,
like
why would it cut it? Shouldn't
it should
yeah,
be like
because
it has to be touched like for a while, then it
yeah,
melts off
no.
slowly.
Here's the thing: if you make metal really hot, like, even in steel work, if you make metal really hot, you don't cut through.
No,
You don't cut through other
you had
metal.
to touch it, yeah, like a long
You're gonna
time, right?
bend it. You're gonna
Yes,
bend it. Yeah, you have to touch it. You couldn't do it with
they
steel. You have to use something else.
they
So
had to do it
I
for
mean,
dramatic
especially
effects.
since in the movies, remember, because they even said this in all the X-Men movies. The only way that they could work with antimonium is constantly keep it
Because to
warm,
keep it warm, yeah.
keep it a liquid state. And the thing, if you warm it up, it's going to turn to a liquid state. So you can't cut through anything with something that is like it's like trying to cut something with a popsicle. You're
So
not going to do it.
So the most realistic is they should just hold his arm and have claws out, and then the melted thing just have to sit there for a while. Okay, I need 15 more minutes.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. If his part's heating up and it's made out of the same material that his claws
Claws, oh
are,
yeah.
even setting it for a long time, it's not going to do nothing.
No,
It's just
right?
going to heat his claws up. Yeah,
It
just
just
heat
hit
his
his claws
skeleton
up
up.
because
Yeah, but that
because his
stuff.
sword should have melted too.
But his claws would actually cut through the sword. Yeah, his it would go the other
His yeah,
way.
it should go the other way because his has the hard one. It should yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The sword is like
exactly.
so. You and I, are both going through the same thing. Like
And I also want to
what?
point this out. This is also neat. Nobody's ever thought of this.
Okay.
And I could be wrong on it. It's cool because it's comic books. It's not real. But they always cut Wolverine's claws off. They cut Wolverine's claws off a lot, or break his bones in his hands off, his little bone claws. They always call it bone claws.
Yeah.
Is it really bone claws, or is it more like horns?
Ooh.
Because they break it a lot and it grows back really quick. Now Wolverine could probably get a we never seen Wolverine get anything cut off, and apparently it must grow back now that we got Deadpool.
So
But
you're
before
saying that if
Deadpool
we
came,
cut off Logan's arms, it does grow back because he just
will it?
regenerates.
Will it? Have they ever shown
They
any of his
had
arms
never
cut off?
done that. Like to
I've never
they
seen it
only
unless in
do it to
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
But see, the thing with horns though, horns are like fingernails. I mean, it's a bunch of dead cells, so it's constantly going to grow back no matter what. I
Well,
mean, you
that's
could
why it
break
can
them.
grow back
Yeah,
at the end. Yeah.
that's why animals with horns and stuff they can fight. They bust the horns off. They grow back.
Wait,
Sometimes
so
they
it
shed
does
them
that?
every
So
year.
it does that for the like for cows that they're longhorns. If you break them, they grow
Well,
back.
they'll grow back. Well, they won't really grow back as well because
But
they're
it will
not
still
like.
grow back
But
though.
like, let's deer. We should go with
Oh,
deer
okay.
and rams and all those animals. They even shed them. Most deer will shed their antlers. Everything. And moose, they shed their antlers. A lot of those animals shed. Like a cow, that's a whole different. It works. But the problem is the horn is more like hair.
Okay.
It's more like hair follicle.
But it still grows back
If you
anyway.
no, if you cut it off, because you got to cut it off. A lot of cows, you cut the horns off so they don't hit other cows and scratch up the
And kill
cows.
them.
Well, so they don't gore your other cows.
Yeah.
You cut them off, and if you cut them right, I mean, you got to
Does it
cut them, and
hurt
they don't
them?
grow back.
Oh, does it hurt the cows?
Well, it depends on how far deep you cut. It don't hurt like bad hurt. I mean,
Oh.
you. I mean, their tolerance for pain is way higher
So
than anything we could dream of.
okay, so I'm not familiar
But
with
there is
this.
a
How do they
vein.
cut their horns?
Hacksaw.
Oh, so you just actually just do it like
You could do that,
manual?
yeah,
Oh,
hacksaw or something. You could do it. It depends on that deal. There's several different ways. I'm not an expert on cutting horns
oh, okay.
off
I
of
mean, like I
cows,
thought you would know, like,
but
cause
I do know there is a blood blade. If you cut too close to the skull, you got to pinch it off so they don't bleed to death.
oh,
It's
okay.
not like a big
Ooh.
gush of blood, but there is a vein in there, and you can
There's a
keep
vein
on
in
bleeding.
that bone. Okay.
Yeah, there's veins up in there. There's mainly
Oh,
one vein, but a lot of people solder. I mean, not solder. What do you call it? Cauterize it.
oh, okay.
But it depends on how you cut them, where you cut them.
I never thought about that. That's a good,
But
interesting
not all
point. Are
cows
they
have horns.
horns? So,
But
but
not
then
all
the
cows
horns
have.
are on the hands instead of, you know.
Yeah, well, we saw it in the X-Men 3.
Oh, that guy with the horns. Oh,
It's
that's
it
right.
looked like horns. He kept shooting things out. It had to be like horns. It looked like horns. So I'm just saying, are they really bone claws or are they more like horns? Because they look all crunchy like horn claws.
I wonder if anybody talked about this in the internet. Like, does
Because he can't really
Wolverine?
cut you though. He can only rip you up with the bone claws. Because they're not sharp. We
Does
keep calling them
Wolverine?
bone claws because that's what they always call them, but it's not really bone.
The Wolverine does not have foot claws. Organizations have
It's like giant fingernails coming out of
three
it.
claws on
And,
each hand. Hmm.
and here's the crazy thing though. With that antimanium around them, then if they're like horns continuously grow until they get ready to shed them. Would he shed his, or they just coat because they're coated with antimanium? They're probably never grow anymore because they're
Wow.
basically horns are like fingernails. Let me put it this way: does it
Horns
hurt
on
when you
fin-
cut your fingernails?
No.
No, unless they cut too deep.
So basically, the antimanium is just covering the horns so they can't be
Yep, it
cut
just
off.
covers everything. It covers everything in his body that was almost like bone, which horns are kind of like bone because they're usually connected to your bone.
So these claws works like horns then. So like you could keep cutting Wolverine's bone claws off and then it would just keep coming back
Yeah,
though.
they just keep growing them back because you probably break them off and grow them back. I mean, even if he didn't have his super healing powers, he probably could have broke
It's
them
still
off,
yeah, and it still keep
and
going
they would
back.
have grown back, probably just at a
That's
slower
interesting.
rate.
You know what? Let me Google like if you cut you
Well, maybe we're
cut
the first ones to ever stumble onto this. Maybe
Wolverine.
somebody should be Googling us.
Sounds sexual.
Well,
You know
knowing
what?
us, it won't be,
I
but
had never seen.
thank God.
Okay, so what you brought up is if you cut off Wolverine's arm, it should grow back, right?
Yeah, but has it ever been an issue? I
I
mean,
had
I
I
know that
never seen this in the
I know,
comic books
well, I
though.
think they do because but I never read the comic book. I think, isn't there one where they cut him up, Hulk cuts him up and eats him,
That's
and
the
he
the
grows.
old man Logan. He eats him whole, and then he just
Oh, eats him. Oh,
yeah
okay. Well, then I wondered because I've never seen him lose any limbs.
yeah me neither. It's just Deadpool because I think
Because
it's the
see,
funny
well,
thing.
that up until Deadpool came along, I think Wolverine could actually be killed if you completely destroyed him.
Let's see. If someone put on Reddit, if Wolverine's arms got chopped off, shouldn't it grow back? Yeah, because it regenerates like the cell, so it would grows because his skin grows back if you cut it. So how is that
Well,
different, right?
well, here's the thing: we could put this right now. At this point in time, when he has the antimanium skill, you can't cut anything off of him.
That's right.
It's just,
The only thing
it's
you can is just
antimanium.
cut off his skin and purely like the
Yeah, you can cut
Terminator.
his skill, yeah, and maybe it'll all grow back.
Yeah, it's like the Terminator thing, right? Listen to me very carefully.
Yeah,
But that would be like the same thing. You can only cut his skin off and then take it up, but that would grow back anyway.
yeah.
Just
It'd
like
be
all the
hard to cut
muscles
it.
in body.
It'd be hard to put all that
So
back. Yeah,
if
because he
you
could lose all
cut
kinds of skin.
Wolverine, you have to cut it before he has that antimanium surgery.
You'd have to cut him up before he has the antimanium. So far, all we've seen is him get shot mainly.
Yeah.
And not everything cuts through bone, anyways. Even the old days, I mean, trying to cut through people, there was some
Yeah, it's
swords
tough,
that
yeah.
were hard, but yeah, like the Japanese sword. But we see in this movie, he can cut through anything. But I mean, in the old days, so chances are you're not gonna cut through everything.
Yeah, it won't be as like pushing and then the whole thing comes up. It's not
I
like a
mean,
laser.
and of course, the probably the up until this point, even in the movie universe for him, the worst trauma he's ever had is that atomic bomb
Oh yeah.
where he almost burned all
That
his
was
back off.
crazy, yeah.
That was crazy. He's telling all that. That was pretty cool though. He's telling that guy, "Come on down here." Of course, that guy's like a samurai, which I guess most of the military officers in the Japanese army were samurais, or thought they
Oh.
were.
Well,
That's why
he's
they
a
all committed
cowardly one.
suicide.
He didn't commit suicide because he's a
Yeah,
coward.
yeah,
But then I
maybe.
thought it was weird that
But
he's
the
a
problem
coward,
is,
but then also he saves the other prisoners. Like I thought that was
oh, he
very
saved a lot of prisoners.
un-Japanese. Like I thought it was
I think. He,
for me
well, I
it was
think
very un-Japanese that they
it was
saved
very
the.
un-Japanese.
Okay, good,
It was
good,
very
good.
un-Japanese. I think the problem is when he saw that, he's like, what am I fighting for? We're doing all these traditions and all this stuff. And he goes, even this war that they started wasn't very samurai.
No, it's not.
Come
Yeah.
on, think about it. It was very dishonorable, all crap they done.
Yes.
So he probably realized, I'm not really a good samurai either, because he goes, all these guys are following tradition and they're calling themselves good samurai. But he goes, but the way we're doing warfare and all this stuff, he goes, that's very unhonorable.
Yeah, I do understand the intro for this movie though,
Yeah, so in a way, well, it's to make this guy realize this guy's a good guy. Well, in the end of the movie, I mean, we realize he's not.
because he just didn't want to die from
Well,
cancer.
yeah, well, he got corrupted eventually. He lived long enough to be corrupted.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
again, he was surrounded by corruption too. So,
Would you want to live like Wolverine though?
hmm,
Like he can never. That's like a vampire.
it's like a vampire.
So him and Blake can last for a long time.
The only problem is most vampires, they collect nice stuff, so they always have some
Yeah,
wealth.
it's on wealth. Yep.
Wolverine, he's living in a cave.
He lives in a cave. He doesn't want anything. He doesn't need
All he wanted
anything.
was some batteries.
I did like the grizzly bear thing, like
He
this.
probably did bury. He probably was one of those people that buried his gold and coins out and around all over the place.
That is true.
So that way he can go dig
It
it up and
reminded
have
me
some
of
money.
that scene from 12 Monkeys, right? When he had that antique bullet inside him and they took it out from 1995. Like,
Yeah,
how do you have an antique bullet from World War
yeah,
One inside
yeah.
your body?
Well, then of course it'd be like, what is this worth?
Yeah, I know. Well, how much is this worth?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
Yeah,
The
who?
problem is with living, like they said, the problem with living a long time is all the people that you love. It's like having dogs
Yeah. Oh, that's a good comparison.
because they'll die and you're still here.
You could have like 5 dogs in your lifetime. You outlive
Yep,
all of them.
exactly. You'll get to see it all over
And
and
then
over and
your
over
heart
again.
just get broken every single time
Yeah.
because like, dude, I don't know how many more
And
times I
since
can go through
and since
this.
people don't live that long, you don't really know how much of that you could actually take.
So how does Spock feel? Oh, he doesn't feel anything because it's illogical.
Spock, yeah, well, Spock lives like, yeah, Spock doesn't
Technically,
live that
yeah,
long.
yeah, but
Yeah,
he still
Spock,
lived longer than humans, though. That's the thing. Like,
yeah, oh yeah, he lived human, but
like
he wouldn't live but he doesn't live as long as Vulcans do because he's not full
I
Vulcan.
thought Vulcan. Oh yeah,
He's
okay.
half human, half Vulcan. So he does feel a little bit more. He feels a lot more probably. Well, I don't know. He don't feel that much because he did take the Kolinar and all that stuff. So
This put me in like you said, the drive from the origins movie. Like that's why he could survive the surgery to put the antimonium in his body. So this is really good because I've been thinking about this whole week. Like, oh, Victor Wynn couldn't do it because all he care about is killing. He doesn't have
yeah,
that motivation to like, I guess, stay alive through the procedure. It's like, hey, I'm gonna make it through this. And I thought
yeah,
Wolverine's that drive, right? It got broken down somehow after the antimonium, and they're like, oh, now he's fall back into what he wasn't before.
yeah. But it is funny though. Let's think about it. It's funny. We watch the movie. He's fighting. He fights in D-Day.
Yeah,
Fights at D-Day. Fights the whole war. Gets shot, and then he somehow goes over and makes itself into the Pacific Theater.
yeah. I was gonna say like the
But it
timeline,
makes
like
sense. The timeline would make sense though, because we did beat Germany before we beat Japan.
okay.
Yeah, I mean D-Day is when they started marching into. That was almost the end. Started the end for the
So
war.
you're saying the
Because the
timeline? Yeah, the timeline is kind of
timeline.
weird between the
But it is
Wolverine
weird.
and
I would think it'd be weird, but they could have transferred, and it would make sense transfer soldiers over to the
to the Japan.
Pacific. Yeah, the Pacific theater to fight too. But he would have had to change service. I mean, he went to get captured. What
So
did he
this
do?
is
Goes
X.
from the army and then joins the Marines
So
and
this
then
is
goes.
X Men's multiverse right here without knowing that they were in the multiverse. So you're saying that when they wrote this movie, like they didn't think about like, hey, what about origins when he was in Europe? Like, how is he in Japan? Like, shh, don't say anything. No
But
one's
he
gonna
doesn't. But
ask.
like I said, though, the time bombs were dropped towards the end of the war.
Yeah, they
They
would
would
have
have
already been.
almost. Have already beaten Germany.
So he actually did the save the guy in Japan and then went back to America to work for Stryker.
Well, you got to think he went on. He went back to fight to go
Vietnam
party
War.
and then
That's right.
fight
Yeah.
Vietnam War.
Okay.
But he probably fought in Korea War
Oh,
too,
so when
because
he
it
was in
doesn't show it.
Japan, he doesn't have antimonium. He just have the bone
Yeah,
clones.
he
Yeah.
doesn't have all that yet. He hasn't met Stryker yet. He hasn't met anybody.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
just didn't know where his brother
for some
was.
reason we don't
Where
even
was
know
his
where
brother
Victor's
at
at.
this time?
Yeah,
Yeah, where's
exactly.
Victor?
Where's Victor? He's always
Where's Victor
standing
in
up for him.
Japan?
Victor probably come and found him later in the movie. You know, he's like, "Why'd you get burned up in that hole?" He goes, "I was escaping with all the prisoners." But I don't know if he was captured though. He would have
It's
been
so
taken
funny. Like,
away
why didn't that bother us between this? Because like, wait, how is he
because
doing
we
in
did
Japan? We
because
don't
we're too
care.
busy because we're too busy enjoying the movie
Yeah,
instead of tearing it up.
because
But
I
now
didn't
we're
think
gonna
about that
tear it.
until now.
Now we're tearing it up. Where was Victor?
Yeah, where was Victor? Where was timeline in this?
Well, Victor probably got captured, but I mean, eventually they meet up. I mean, I'm sure they got split up hundreds of times.
Yeah, that's probably
So,
true too. Because they're in the
and
war.
plus, and he goes, fight. He fought a whole bunch of wars, got all this stuff, and then he finally goes and does X-Men 3. He's heartbroken because that movie sucked, and then so he goes out and lives in the forest.
It sucks.
He's what they don't show you is the director of X-Men 3 that lives out there in the forest with him. So, that's like
So,
this.
so we talk about Yukio a little bit. How how did you like that? Is that a Russian chick?
Dude,
The Viper lady, the one that who
I
gave
think
that.
I didn't think she was, but maybe she is.
Well, the actress is actually Russian.
Okay, well, it makes sense. You know, the funny thing is, I couldn't figure out who she was for a
Oh,
little
she's
bit.
5'11". Dang,
Man,
she's
yeah,
tall.
I thought she was some other actress for a while. And then I thought,
I mean, I don't
Viper. I
know who
knew.
those was.
I knew a Viper, but I remember. I think I have a comic book with Viper in, but I didn't know all this about Viper.
I didn't
You
either.
know, everything in the show.
Like it
I didn't know she could peel her
shut
skin
down
off.
his healing factor.
Well, she just had. Well, really, all she did was toxins. They put it in a little robot, and the robot got inside his body and was continuously pumping toxins into his heart to slow him down. So he wasn't really losing his healing factor. It was
It
just
just
kind of
slows
slowing it.
down.
It was slowed down so much that it was at regular like a normal human.
Ah.
But I thought the movie was cool. I also liked the action on the bullet train.
Oh, the bullet train fight scene is awesome.
It's actually pretty good.
It's
This was
awesome.
the fight scenes in this movie were a lot better than a lot of the X-Men movies so far.
Yeah, just the fight scene alone. Like, I wish there was a rated R version of this. I think there is on the Blu-ray release. There's like
Yeah.
an extended, unrated extended cut. They probably show a little bit more because
Plus,
Wolverine kills a lot of people in this movie.
actually, I think what helps this movie too is that they actually take him out of his normal world that we normally see him in and throw him into another country.
Ah,
But it's not
Japan,
like
yeah.
any country. It's a country where you don't really get to see the outside, you know, because Japan is kind of a country like you can go to Japan. It's like Texas. In
Yes.
Japan,
It's
everything's
only
Japan.
it's only a
Japan,
couple
Japan,
of
Japan.
cities. It's like the city, like the Tokyo, Osaka,
Yeah.
and then Nakanawa.
Well, like what I'm trying to say though, it's like when
it's
you're in
very
Japan,
country. Yeah. A
yeah,
lot
it's
of places
very
country.
they're very Japanese. Everybody is this is like we don't do the outsiders things here. We don't care about anybody else. We're the greatest.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, I never thought about that. Like, Japan is
Well,
advanced, but only in those certain areas.
yeah, but they've
Mostly.
always been Japan's always been kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess if you want to
Shoot.
conserve, yeah, if you want to take care, you want to be like have a lot of traditions and stuff. You can't let the outside world in it because
Yeah.
you'll lose it. Because the outside world's always about, hey, maybe you should do it this way, or maybe you should do it that way.
Oh, you know what? Even Hong Kong is a lot more advanced than America.
Well,
Just
it
technology,
depends how
like,
you
yeah.
look at it. Yeah, is it really more advanced? It was just more available to the regular person.
It's probably more available. It's just more convenient, I guess,
I
in a
would say
way.
I would say it's more available to a regular person there than it is here.
Than it is here, yeah.
But I mean, if we're so far behind everybody, then I think Hong Kong would be calling the shots, and not the United States.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Yeah.
Because I mean, if China is controlling Hong Kong and China is constantly stealing American technology, then are they really more advanced?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I haven't thought about it, so.
I think probably one area shows off more of its technology than another country does.
I think even if you talk about technology, I don't think just because you have the latest tech, right? It doesn't mean that you're calling the shots. You know, does that make sense?
No, usually if you've got the latest tech, you're going to call the shots.
Really? Because America
would think
doesn't
so.
really have the latest tech, but it's calling the shots.
How do we not have the latest tech?
I don't know.
Because I mean, don't you think a lot of that stuff is already here in America, but we don't just show and give it off? Because I mean, in China, you're going to have a lot of like internet. A lot of countries have internet. Everybody's got internet in all the other countries
Hmm.
because the government paid for it. You want internet in America, you buy it. If you can't buy it, then you don't get it.
Wow.
Everything in America is you either buy it or you don't get it.
Yeah, it's capitalism.
I mean, come on, we landed on the moon first,
Yeah, I didn't
but
think
we
about
didn't.
that.
But I mean, it's more government. I mean, everything. I mean, now we have space tourism in
Yeah.
America. No other country has space tourism. Good luck. A lot of countries want it, but they don't have it. I mean, and the same. There's not any place in the United States you can't get internet. It's just, can you afford it?
That's true. I
Because I
don't
mean,
know.
there's a lot of countries that claim they got internet everywhere, actually don't have internet.
You know,
China doesn't have internet everywhere. There's a whole bunch of it's just poor.
so the most
India, same thing.
so the most advanced thing I saw in this movie that I can talk about is the medical stuff that in it was Yoshida, right? Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yoshida
Yoshida.
company.
Yoshida, like whatever bed he was laying in, that was the most advanced thing I
Oh
see
yeah,
in
with
the
the
whole
little
Japan.
thing.
Yeah,
And I was thinking, why would you even need that?
I don't know. Are you talking about the needle bed looking
Yeah,
thing?
where
Yeah,
the head moves.
I thought it was
This
just
is
like
so
to tell
comfortable.
you. It was just like a little
It just wants you to. It
real
just wants
time
you to know
X-ray
that the Yoshida company is very
advanced. Yeah,
technologically
technology
advanced.
advanced.
But I was like, dude, if you're so advanced, you wouldn't be wanting Wolverine to save you.
You would have figured this yourself. So
Yeah,
they never talk about how they were able to get. So did Yoshida really die or just like a fake death? That's a
it
fake
was a
thing, right?
fake death. Yeah,
Okay, that's
because
what I
he was
thought.
still alive in the movie, but apparently he probably still needed. He still needed his bone marrow because he was
Ah,
just going to do a. You know how you like, what is that? Cure. Really, you need bone marrow to cure a lot of diseases.
so
Some people say that though. I read a deal that said here that if you got a bone marrow transplant, it would actually turn your DNA into that other person's DNA.
so you're saying Yoshida was getting Wolverine's DNA?
Yeah, he was still in his. That's why he wanted in that bone.
So did you think that would have killed him, or Wolverine could just transfer his?
It really probably shouldn't have killed
It
him,
shouldn't have killed him, right? But then it would make Yoshida another mutant.
but I'm thinking it hurts like crap. Yeah, it would have made
Yeah.
Yoshida like. Let's say if you're they do a DNA test on Yoshida after he took his bone marrow and all that stuff, he would have been Wolverine as far as you could tell.
Ah.
I mean, he would look like Yoshida. He looked like that old.
Yeah.
Well, eventually he would look like a young
His
man
young
again.
person again. Yeah. Because
Well, he
he's
won't
little
look like a young person because he's already aged to a point. Because Wolverine still ages. He just ages slower.
slower. Yeah.
Yeah, people keep they making it seem like he doesn't age at all and he can't ever die. He just ages slower.
He
So
just is
apparently
slower.
he could eventually die.
Yeah. But it takes a
He's not.
long time.
Yeah, he's not. He's not Deadpool. Deadpool will
No.
never die. Wolverine is supposed. I think they've made it where Wolverine won't ever die, but Wolverine's supposed to have died. It's supposed to age at such a slow rate. He's supposed to look like because he becomes Old Man Logan. He wouldn't become Old Man Logan if he wasn't slowly dying.
Yeah.
You'll never get an Old Man Deadpool.
Even if he's trans, oh, are you able to
Yeah.
tell?
So I mean, I'm guessing, and Ryan Reynolds, I mean, he's got enough money. He probably won't ever age either. So he'll probably be doing that until he's 92.
Well, you could tell that, like, 47-year-old Ryan Reynolds is a lot older than in his 20s.
I
All
don't
of them
know. I don't know. He looks pretty good
for 40, almost 50.
for 50
Actually,
years.
so did
Yeah.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Shoot, so
Chris
does Hugh
Evans.
Jackman. You can tell
Chris
he's
Evans.
55.
Yeah, Chris Evans is still like, what, 30?
Like Paul Rudd.
He looks like like Paul Rudd. See, apparently Disney picked all these people to be these characters long before
I think
Disney
it's just the
took over.
working out to working
Money.
out 5 year. That too.
Money. Working out. These guys don't work out. Paul Rudd working out? No.
I don't know. They got the body from something. It's not just like
Paul Rudd looks like a guy that plays video games and eats pizza a lot.
Hugh
And
Jackman
never
is
and it
so
doesn't hurt
jacked.
him at all.
Hugh Jackman is so jacked in this
Yeah.
movie.
Well, he's jacked in this movie. He's still not as jacked as he was in some of
Which
the other
one?
ones.
Days of the Future Past is pretty buff too.
Yeah, he was pretty buff in that.
Yeah, the only one that you didn't get to see how buff he was in First Class because he only had a little cameo
No, it's because he
in
wasn't.
Shanghai. That was really funny.
Because he's probably drinking the beer and stuff already.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do other movies. I'm gonna let myself go.
So I was gonna ask you. So Wolverine and Deadpool technically doesn't need sleep, right? Or does that have
I
nothing
don't
to do with
know.
the regenerate stuff? I mean, they could
Oh,
get drunk, but they recover a lot faster than they
oh yeah,
probably
they
won't get
cover it first.
hangovers, just like
Well,
Captain
hangovers
America.
hangovers actually have a lot to do with the water in your
It's
system.
just water in the system. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like if you don't want a hangover, you better drink a lot of water with your alcohol
Hmm.
because that's basically it's the alcohol robbing
Dries
your
you. Yeah.
brain and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. It just
robbing your
dries.
brain of hydration, and then you got a throbbing headache.
Huh.
That's why if you drink Gatorades and stuff, you get over it quick.
I'm trying to see how many mutants did they have in this movie? Wolverine,
So far,
Yukio,
I saw
Viper.
three,
That's really it,
three
right?
that I can remember. Yeah, I
It's
just
just
remember
three.
it's three all I can
This
remember.
is a lot less than the first X-Men.
And they
But
didn't
then,
even need them. But this was an X-Men. This is Wolverine story.
yeah. I mean, like, I'm just saying that this is a lot less than X-Men. Like, they don't have
Yeah,
three mutants, unless you count
it's
Jean Grey. But then she's just
a figment of his
a figment of his
imagination.
imagination. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe that was the Phoenix Force we're seeing.
But well, they have 4 and 5 with Professor X and Magneto showing up eventually.
Yeah, eventually they show up, which I was surprised. I forgot about that whole deal.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, it did.
Because I don't
It
think
shows him.
we will watch. I don't know, because Fox is not known for these mid-credit scenes. They probably copied from Disney, like, oh, this is a good idea. Yeah, I know, right?
Well, they're basically by this time they're like, we need to make a franchise, a real franchise.
Yeah, now they see what Disney's doing. Like, oh, this is
Yeah,
what Feige was telling us the whole
yeah,
time when he was
yeah,
producing
yeah.
these movies.
We weren't, and we didn't listen.
I know. There's a whole bunch of ninjas.
Oh, there was 100,000 ninjas.
They were shooting him with the arrows. I was like, that's kind of.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was kind of a little hokey at the same time, but I also thought it was cool because he's trying to and they had all the arrows through him.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually pretty neat.
So someone actually took the
And then
time
of
to take
course,
all those arrows out before they
then
put
of
him in that
course,
machine.
yeah. Well, they probably just cut it all, and his body just rejected it.
Oh yeah, when it just
Should have,
heals.
yeah, yeah. And of
Because
course he does. He does it, and then of course he does reach in his chest and
oh
like.
yeah, when he just to get that what
Yeah.
spider thing? What is that?
And the
Like
thing is,
squid?
I do understand why they probably made the grandfather the Silver Samurai, because you got to think you're automatically thinking. Because see, I thought it was the father, so I thought that father in this movie was
Oh.
going to be the Silver Samurai, and it's going to fight him because he even shows him at the beginning of the movie. He goes, "Oh, he's very good." He goes, "Oh yeah, he's one of the best."
Oh the sound yeah.
Yeah, and then you see the Silver Samurai suit sitting over the grandfather, so they want you to think the grandfather is dead,
Yeah.
and the dad is the bad guy. Because see, the dad is the bad guy in a way.
Yeah, he is the
But
bad
they
guy. Yep.
want you to make him think that he's going to be the Silver Samurai.
Oh, you
And
know what? I didn't think about that.
yeah, see, because I even when I watched the movie, I thought that was going to be the Silver Samurai, and then when he finally kills the dad, I was like, "Well, what happened?"
Oh.
And then when you see the Silver Samurai, then you think, "Well, is it a suit or is it the?" Actually, I kind of thought it's probably the old man's going to pop back up.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, because I didn't know the relationship between the what was her name? Viper?
Yeah. See, I don't understand why Viper was there. I remember the character. I didn't know she was a mutant, and I don't remember being in the X-Men comics. Like, God,
No,
I
because
don't
she's in
think.
I think she's part of Hydra from what I'm reading. She first appeared
Yeah,
in Captain
yeah,
America.
yeah. That's what I said. I thought I saw her in the Avengers
Yeah, Madam
comics.
Hydra.
Well,
She's
she's not Madam Hydra, is she?
I don't know. I put
I don't think she's Madam Hydra. I think that's a whole different deal. Madam Hydra is somebody else,
a version
right?
of her character. Huh. No, she's labeled as Madam Hydra though. Probably in the comic books. I mean, I'm not familiar. But in Wikipedia, she's Madam Hydra helped the. Oh, wait, hold on. That's weird. Hmm. That's. Well, I'm reading all. Well, I'm not reading this, but I'm not so sure she's associated with Madam Hydra or Serpent Squad. She was in Hammer, Secret Empire, the Hand. Interesting.
Oh, the hand. Yeah, I wish they would show that these were the guys with the hand.
Yeah. Oh,
But they
because the
didn't. They didn't.
ninjas.
Yeah, well, the hand comes from Japan
Yeah.
in the movie, and they're part of the MCU. They probably wanted to use the hand. I wonder why they didn't
Interesting.
use the hand. They could have used the hand because they used Daredevil in Elektra, and that was
Oh,
supposed
that's
to
right.
that,
That's
and they had
interesting.
the
Yeah.
hand was in the movies.
They probably
We've
just never
always
labeled the hand. Like you're talking about those ninjas should have been part of the hand, right? Or they
yeah. Well,
are.
those ninjas are actually the Black Clan that protected the
Oh,
old
that
man.
yeah, the old man.
But you never know. You gotta find. There's not like a zillion ninjas. You gotta go find ninjas somewhere and hire them. You know,
A
you
ninja
gotta you
mercenary.
gotta travel around Japan. Go, what Black Clan do you belong to? Hey, would you like to join the hand? We are looking for some few good ninjas. I mean, come on, you can't just be a ninja. I mean, ninjas got to trade like years of
Prefer
training too.
prefer that you don't breathe when you doing all your stuff, except like take that one little breath and then you just
Yeah.
hold your breath the whole time.
Yep.
Because that's how
Well,
ninjas roll.
you gotta be the best of the best.
Let's see what else is pretty cool. I did like in the beginning where Wolverine stabs that other guy with that poisonous arrow.
Oh yeah. He goes, well, if it's not poisonous, you don't have anything to worry
I was
about.
like, ask me where I find it. Oh, so it's a funny thing that you should ask. Find it in the grizzly. That was pretty good. I mean, like I didn't know how that works, but like they shot the grizzly with a poison arrow, but then it didn't do enough to knock him over, so the grizzly came towards them and
Yeah, it's
killed a
made him
couple of
sick.
them. I'm like, yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I
Of
thought
course,
that
that
was pretty
lady
good.
goes in there and goes, "Oh yeah, this is your sword, by the way."
Oh yeah, the
After she cuts
Yukio.
everything and the guy's beer bottle falls
Yeah,
down.
that's pretty funny. Let's see, huh? Oh, it doesn't list it here. I said I was gonna find out the Devil season 3 for you or that doctor, but I can't. Never mind. I'm not gonna
Anyways,
find it.
point out that the dad, he's always in anytime they do Japanese movies, the dad in this movie, he's in everything.
He's an
He's in the
overused
Last Samurai.
Japanese actor.
He's the Last Samurai.
He's in the Last Samurai. He's in Rush Hour 3
He
because
is the
they need
Last
Japanese
Samurai.
people.
And he's also in a Disney. He's in that Disney TV series,
Which one?
Shogun.
Oh, I haven't never seen it. I mean, I don't know what
But
it
you heard
is.
of it, yeah.
Actually, no, I haven't.
Oh, I haven't seen it
I
either. I
have
just heard.
not heard of it.
Oh, you haven't
No,
on Disney Plus?
no.
Okay. Well, you need to get out more.
Hiroyuko Sanada. That's a show called Shogun.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Disney Plus. It's a big deal. It won an Emmy.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
No,
the guy we're talking about got nominated for the Emmy.
I have. I mean, besides watching MCU and Star Wars stuff, I really have no time to watch other
Well, but as
things.
soon as you turn Disney Plus on, it shows it. It's like,
Oh,
da-da.
really? Oh, he
Yeah,
was also in 47 Ronin because it's an American
he's
movie.
basically he's in everything. If it says, hey, we need a Japanese guy.
He was in Avengers Endgame just because he was in Hawkeye was in or Ronin was in
Oh yeah,
Japan.
he was the guy that the Ronin kills.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how in all the movies the Japanese guy looks the same.
It's like
He's also in Speed Racer.
he wasn't Speed Racer.
Yeah, remember Speed Racer? He was
Oh, he
the
is Mr. Musha.
yeah, he was that one of the members of the family that
Yeah,
sells.
that's right. He was in Sunshine. We just watched recently.
Who did he play in Sunshine?
He plays Kaneda.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, he was
When
in
the guy's on,
Sunshine.
yeah, he was on Sunshine too.
He's a pretty good. He's
Oh,
appeared in a lot of U.S.
he's
movies.
been in a lot of stuff. He's a good actor actually. So I mean, I don't mind seeing the guy. I
He's in
mean,
Mortal Kombat because he plays Scorpion.
because I'm like, yeah, I know this guy.
Army of the Dead, huh?
The sad thing is we don't really know him. We know him, but
We
we don't
know
know him.
him, yeah. But when
We
we're
don't.
familiar with the
But he's
actor because we've seen him in so many
yeah,
stuff.
he's in almost everything. But you can't say that because he's like a lot of the other actors we watch. There's tons of actors we watch. We like the guy. We don't even know their names, but we've seen him in almost every movie that we've watched.
That is very true. There's some actors like, oh, I recognize this guy, but sometimes I don't remember his name.
Yeah, you can't remember his
But it
name.
was like
Just
if it was back in the 80s or 90s, I probably do. But nowadays, like, no, I'm not gonna remember his name.
let's see. I want to make it. I'm gonna give him a name now.
Who? This Japanese guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him an American name. Let's
That's funny.
see.
His name is Sanada.
Sonata. Well, that's easy to say.
Hiroyuki Sanada.
Oh, okay, well, we should just call him Sonata.
I'm gonna call him Hector. like that, like the Mexican actor, right? He always plays Hector.
What was that movie we watched with? Let's see, there's a space movie. I'm trying to think of something.
Space movie. We
Yeah,
watch a lot.
we watched a lot. You're right. We watched. I'm not really narrowing it down, am I?
No.
The space is infinite.
Sunshine. Um, what's the one with Matt Damon? Not Interstellar, but well, we watched
Yeah, that's
Interstellar
what it was.
too.
Esilum is it?
Oh, he wasn't in this. Oh, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about Interstellar and the other one that he growing potatoes on Mars. What is that one called?
Oh, oh, The Martian.
The Martian.
Was he in The Martian?
He's not in the Martian. He's just in the
Oh, okay.
sunshine.
Oh, okay. He's in Sunshine. Trying to think of a. Oh,
Oh, he wasn't Lost
oh, was he?
in Westworld. Oh yeah, he's a historical drama series Shogun. Huh. Oh, it does. You're right. It won a Primetime Emmy Award.
Yeah, see, and
Huh.
you never even heard of it.
No. Come on. What other Japanese
Okay,
history stuff I ever
here's
watched?
what I was trying to think.
Okay.
He is the William Fletcher of Japan.
Oh, that's really good.
That's good.
Oh, that's
That's the sad thing
really
is
good.
I couldn't remember William Fletcher's name, but I know the actor.
I
I know William
love
Fletcher
Will.
because
I
he's in
love
every
William. Yeah,
movie.
I love
He's
William
almost in every
Fletcher. Yep.
because he's in
But we know
everything.
his name though. Like William Fletcher.
Well, I couldn't think of what his name was. The sad thing
He
is
was in
when I said
Strange
his name,
Days because we like him in Strange Days.
he's
And
a
then we paid.
strange.
Yep.
He's a strange days. He's in.
He's
What is
the
it?
other correct cop. He was the head of the minor
Yeah.
robot.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I remember him. But like I
Yeah.
say, he's in everything.
He's in
Black
Adam
Hawk Down.
Sandler's. I never seen Black Hawk Down, but he was in Adam Sandler's The Longest
Basically,
Yard.
basically, if you name a movie, he's in it.
Yeah. Well, he's in the sitcom that me and Heather watched too called
I'm
Mom.
surprised. I'm surprised he wasn't in Wolverine
Not yet.
or any of the X Men.
I mean, like he was in a DC movie. He was in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, he was in the Dark Knight.
Yeah. I mean, he's in Prison Break. He's in a lot of stuff.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're
Like I
right.
said,
He's in a lot of stuff.
he is. So Sada is the William Fletcher of Japan.
Of Japan, the William Fletcher of
But the problem is,
Japan in
people in
America.
Japan, the people in Japan are like, we've never seen him in a Japanese movie.
Oh, he's in a lot of stuff in Japan.
I'll be all well. That's because he's the Japanese man that's in all the American movies.
Yeah.
He's too busy being in American movies. I mean, come on.
It's kind of like Chung and Fat, right?
Yeah,
They found
not
this
for a
actor,
while.
yeah, because Chung Fat is not like an action hero. Like
But he's not in that much stuff either.
no, because he
He
didn't
was.
yeah, he was. He didn't make
was
it too
going
much in
to.
America.
Yeah, he just didn't do that long.
I mean, it's always popular in Hong Kong, but
Well, he could have been popular here. He just didn't have the right agent.
that's true too. I mean, like,
I mean, it is. It's the agent. I mean, it's how do you want to be in this movie? Do you want to be in this movie? It's like, nah, I don't want this much. Well, then you're not going to be in this movie. You're sorry. You are not going to be William Fletcher.
I mean, he was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
He was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, one of the I guess Chinese
He was the
captains,
captain.
obviously.
He was one of the Chinese captains, which there are Chinese men. There's a lot of Chinese pirates.
Pirates, yeah. There's pirates all over the world. It's like so much water, like
Everybody's got
70% of the globe, you know?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Sometimes it's easier just to rob somebody and get your stuff.
Let's see. I was trying to figure out, like, there's quite a bit of action scenes in the Wolverine, but, like, the bullet train was the best one.
It's one of the
Especially when
biggest ones I could
they were
remember.
jumping and ducking when he tricked out the
I
other
mean-
guy. That was very funny.
Well, I mean, the fight, because I mean, the other one you got is at the temple, where the funeral.
Yeah.
And that's only because Wolverine sees that guy with
But the
tattoos.
tattoo, the
He's like,
Yakuza tattoo,
because
yeah.
like in Japan, nobody can have tattoos, but the Yakuza, it's against the law to have tattoos.
Is
So
it
obviously
really?
yeah. So obviously, if somebody has a tattoo, they're Yakuza.
Huh. I didn't know that. You can't have tattoos in Japan.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's still the.
It's still like
What?
that. Okay, can you...
I wonder if it is. Let's verify that
Hey, can you have a
because I saw that on
tattoo?
Facebook, so it's probably wrong.
Let's see.
Maybe I don't know.
Oh
'Cause I've
no,
seen people-
tattoos aren't illegal in Japan.
Oh,
But you
okay,
probably
so-
won't run into any issues if you have tattoos in Japan apart from entering an onsen, pool, or gym. Some
Okay.
places have a tattoo ban. Wow.
Okay, so some people don't want it there. But
However, the
somebody
open
said,
tattoo shoot. There's some places that they even serve foreigners in Japan still.
"Oh yeah, I knew that. That's awesome. I think that's awesome." Well, here's the funny thing: there's some places in Japan that won't, but you know why they won't serve you? Because they will serve you, but you got to speak Japanese.
Yeah, just speak Japanese.
But they'll make
Oh, I don't
you,
think
they go,
so. You have to be. I feel like you have to be Japanese on some
Well,
places, but I'm not sure
I
though.
think I think there's some places, but it's because they don't want to cater to you because they'd have to speak your language and they're not
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah,
And like, there's some
that's
people that
that
don't
too.
know that language. It's like here, there's a lot of people come up to you and they want to speak another language. It's like, sorry, dude. And then I'm like, you can't get mad at me because I'm from here.
Wow, since 1948, tattoos in Japan have been legal.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, I saw something that said it wasn't, so I wondered. But now that I think about it, I have seen Japanese people that weren't because it was tattoos.
Yeah, a
So,
lot of Yakuza have tattoos. Even Chinese people, like, only, like, Triad members have tattoos, you know?
oh, in
But
America,
then,
usually it used to be just
yeah,
prisoners,
just prisoners. You know? And I'm
and
thinking, like,
in military,
the first time I got a tattoo, I'm like, well,
Navy.
this thing is kind of expensive. Did they know, like, when I see a person with a whole sleeve, I'm like, whoa, this person must be rich. So,
Yeah,
like,
but you gotta think it's probably don't cost as much in another country.
I don't know. I don't
But you're
know.
probably gonna get hepatitis. So
Because
good luck.
the place I stayed in Hong Kong, like, there was a tattoo parlor downstairs. I'm like, I should find out how much it was because hookers were so cheap.
Really? So you know.
Well, we only know because, like, what
Yeah,
happens is
well, you don't have to explain it. It's
no,
okay.
because you see other, like, they trying to get customers, right? And the girls will be doing this, like, you know, three fingers, like, oh, for 300. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, three hundred
but the
dollars
way
not that bad.
not everybody listen to your podcast is like, what?
Hong Kong $300,
We'll
three
probably get
hundred
more views on this show now.
HKD.
This
So
guy's
you know,
about
like,
to.
so I should have asked how much for a tattoo. Like, it would be cool to get a tattoo in Hong Kong because David Beckham got a tattoo in Hong Kong.
Oh, did he? Well,
Yeah, he
oh
got
yeah,
one just
and I
because,
guess
like, it's kind of like
anything
me
that
going to Vegas. Like, I'm never gonna be like, oh, I got this in Vegas and I'll always remember it. You know, all
yeah,
my tattoos is all Texas based now. It's just like, oh,
right, because you live in
and it's still
Texas.
so funny, right? Cause my last tattoo was this one. I got it in October because October for a few months is not pool season. So now, like,
Oh,
I'm not gonna get tattooed in summer. That's just stupid. Because I want to jump into my pool. I never thought about that until now, but, like,
yeah,
I should have
yeah.
gotten a tattoo in Hong Kong.
I
Like, it could just
know,
been a small one, like,
because
and then I'm
David
done.
Beckham's so cool.
David Beckham is cool. You shut your mouth.
I'm not going
Shut your
to.
trash mouth.
If you got to defend that, then he apparently ain't.
No, you don't. You just don't know.
Dude, dude, it's just like with the Dallas Cowboys.
A lot of people talk crap
Uh,
about Dallas Cowboys. What else is
everybody
new?
does. That
It
you
just
have to.
it's just a hidden fan without knowing it.
You have to.
Yeah, you're just a hidden fan, like talking about trash. Like, I know it's so funny, right?
Oh, I like the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, but, like, I know
I
for
was
other
born.
people that talk
I was
trash,
born in Dallas, so
like, people talk trash about the Dallas Cowboys. Like, you know, I hate the other teams too, but then I don't
it
go out of
just
my
gets
way.
you. It just gets you riled
No,
up
no,
over
no,
nothing.
no. The funny thing is, like, I don't watch the other teams just to talk trash about them.
Okay.
But then it's so funny. It's like when people talk trash about the Dallas Cowboys, right? They actually watch how bad the Cowboys are doing just to talk trash. But, like,
Okay.
I hate Green Bay
Hey.
Packers too. But then I don't go out of my way to watch
Okay.
them
Well, I
play.
want to apologize to our viewers for taking Lamb off of Wolverine and put him on something that didn't make any
I know.
sense
I
to
don't
half
even know
of
how we
us.
got out because we were talking about
Yeah.
Japan and then tattoos, and then
And
suddenly talking
David
about David
Beckham.
Beckham. Yeah.
And I just knew that
I
I'd get
always
you
love this
mad.
train. Like, of
And I knew
how
I
did we
could,
get here?
I knew I could get you to go. Oh, no, no. So half our viewers, I apologize that we even mentioned football or David Beckham. So soccer too. And if
Which I
anybody's
love
saying
all.
who, and if anybody's going, who's David Beckham? Hey, we should be friends.
His marriage to Posh Spice.
Oh well, then everybody, that's the reason. Really, to be honest with you, that's the only reason I know who he is.
Yeah. That's really
They're
funny.
like, it's like, who's David Beckham? I go, oh, who's married to Flash Splash?
I
All the nerds are like, oh, okay, yeah.
we were at Ethan's soccer game today, right? And then it's so funny. I was talking to Heather, like, you know, Shane doesn't like a lot of sports, but then even when I
Well,
was little,
technically,
right?
soccer's not a sport.
Or neither was baseball, but, like, but that's funny thing is, like, even
Right?
since I was young, I always liked sports. But then I like all these nerdy stuff too. Was I one of those ones that, like, like they live in the future? Like, Lamb was already living in
Trader.
3020 in 1992. Because I can't be the only one that, like, oh, I like Marvel comics or, like, I like comic books, right? But then I like sports too. Like, can you just not like the other, or cannot they go together? Like,
Well, you're from a foreign land, so we forgive you. But here in this country,
So in this country, it's one or the other. Forget it. Like we see
Yeah.
meatballs and we see we friends with the nerds. Like you can't have both.
Yep,
Okay,
can't have them both. I'm
you
sorry.
can't like. Where does action movie take in place of all this? Because I
Action
watch
movies.
a lot of them in '80s, like in RoboCop. Like, can I like RoboCop and like sports, or like is if you like RoboCop,
Yes,
you
you
like
can.
sports, or you like
Yeah.
RoboCop, you don't like comics.
Well,
Like,
those are
which one
action
is it?
movies. That's action movies.
That's
So that's
different.
not really comic books. See,
But
as
they
long as
may
you didn't
make
pick it,
comic books
it's.
out of those
I know,
things.
but as long as you didn't go over there and pick up a comic book, you were a
Then
good
you're
little
okay. Oh,
child.
okay.
Yeah, you could watch all the rated R movies you wanted and play football because that's what football players do. That's why they're so violent. I don't know. Just saying that.
Okay.
Yeah, try to write a book on that.
Like you're saying like I'm picking up what you're putting down. But like what?
Well, I'm not really sure what I'm putting down. That's the problem.
That's why they're
I'm
so
just,
violent because they
I'm
play
just,
football.
I'm just throwing stuff out there now. It's like diarrhea.
That's funny.
It's like, oops, did that come out?
I don't know. I think it's just late. I think we should just call it quits
It's
right
like,
now.
it's like, yeah. Before we come up with some really profound information.
But you know what? The Wolverine, I'm pretty sure we missed a lot of great points, but then we
Oh,
talked
we
through
missed
it.
on thousands because we went over and talked about football.
Well, we only talked about football for a little bit. Come on now. We talk about tattoo a lot. We did talk about we talked about they only have 3 mutants in this whole movie. But then no
Yeah.
one talked about like this is the only one, right? Even in X-Men 3, like, oh, they have too much characters, whatever. But only the Wolverine, they have 3 mutants and no one talked like, oh, they didn't put this guy in
You
there. They
know,
were in
I
Japan,
also
like,
want to
didn't they
point
put
out, I
this guy
also
in
want to
there?
point out that they showed them drive up in a lot of exotic cars. None of them were Japanese exotic cars.
So well, because I think in Japan, right, it shows that you're higher class if you drive like
If you
a
a German
European,
car,
yeah, a German car.
it'd be funny if they pull up in a Ford or a Chevy. I would love to see
I'm
a
sorry.
Japanese person pull
By
up in a Chevy.
foreign, I
Ooh,
just mean strictly European, like the Alfa Romeo. Is it Romeo or Romero? I can't remember.
Romero,
Yeah,
Alfa
Romero.
Romero.
Because I saw one today, like I can't remember what it is. It's really hard. I see quite a few
But
Alfa
that's but
Romero.
Alfa Romero's Chrysler, so it's
Yeah,
not saying a lot.
yeah. So yeah,
But
I'm pretty
yeah, but
sure.
I just noticed they drove in a lot of Audis, and I was like, do you
Yeah,
don't want a good, nice, awesome looking Lexus or something?
no. Well, they don't have Lexus in Japan.
They do have Lexus in Japan.
It's mostly Toyotas I see. Actually, even in
Toyota.
Hong Kong, like I know there's a
It
Lexus,
is.
but it's
It's
still
now.
Toyota.
There's actually Lexus. I think it's Lexus Infinity are now in Japan. It's just Acura you can't get in Japan.
Oh, Acura. It's still a
But the
Honda.
thing is, the thing is though, I think the Lexus is in Japan. We can't get here in America.
There's a lot of cars in Japan. Like even some Toyotas we can't even get in America.
Well, yeah, because see, in here, the high end Toyota in Japan is a
It's a
Lexus,
Lexus,
but
yeah,
but in Japan, a Lexus is even higher end than that. So
yeah.
it's
It's
probably
just
like
crazy.
it probably has a bidet and all that stuff in it because Japanese people.
Oh, I gotta use the bathroom. Just go in the car.
Yep,
What?
and it probably has little robot hands in there to help you wipe. So
They're living in 3024. We're living in
yeah,
2024.
I mean, come on, because me and you were talking about technology overseas.
That is very
But you know
true.
why they got more technology overseas? Because a lot of it's useless. In
Oh, I
America,
don't
it's
know.
like,
I mean, I don't.
why
I
do
don't
you
know
want that?
enough. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
what they
like, why
have
would
that
I
we
want
don't have.
this? And we're like, why would you want that? Well, you got to think though. I bet you there's lots of
I
governance.
would like a bullet train here, so that way it makes travels easier.
I wish we had a bullet train too,
Yeah.
but it would be nice if we just had trains again.
In Texas,
America, America, no, just trains. Yeah, because America doesn't really have a lot of trains anymore. It
not
used to be
here,
all
right?
trains. No,
Oh.
I mean there are more up north. You could travel on train. We
Yeah,
do
no,
travel
yeah.
on train in Texas too, but only to certain
A certain
areas.
area, yeah. It's
I
not
mean,
expanded.
there's not one out here where I'm at. I have to drive 3 hours to get to any place I want to see and ride a train.
Oh. You
Thank
know
God
what?
it's not like that on an airplane.
Well, right now, I'm a lot closer than you would be. It'd probably take me another 35, 40 minutes just to ride the dot rail.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you could actually get on a train and go to Chicago if you want to because you're in the Dallas area.
Oh, yeah. Like the Amtrak, right? Just strictly.
Yeah, Amtrak, exactly what I'm talking about. You can go to San Antonio and you can go out to El Paso and so forth. But me, I had to drive 3 hours just to get those places. And I'm like, if I drive 3 hours to those places, I'm already at those places.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, we can take you to San Antonio. I'm like, well, it takes me 3 hours to get to San Antonio. And they go, well, the train will go to Austin. I'm like, well, if I drive 3 hours and go to Austin,
How long's the
they go,
train
the
ride?
train. They're like, the train goes to Dallas. I'm like, 3 hours I can drive to Dallas.
Let's see.
So
How
it's
long
gonna
is
take
the
me
train
three
ride
hours.
from Dallas to San Antonio?
No, Probably
Can
not
I
that
take one
long.
to Houston
Yes,
for
you
the
can.
Amtrak?
You can take the Amtrak to Houston from
Oh,
Dallas. You can take it to Louisiana, dude.
wow.
And then you
1,000
can go all
and
the way.
5 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Huh?
it's a little longer, but you got to think it's going to cost you a little bit because you're going to ride in a car with all kinds of food. You can get
Yeah.
up and go to the bathroom. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can fight evil villains like on James Bond. You know, I've
Oh.
seen it. You know,
Taking
this
the train.
typical train stuff.
Huh. I mean, like, that would probably be a good experience for the boys to ride in the train, you know?
Costs it's a little pricey
Is it?
depending on the car you get. Yeah, I looked at it because I want
Yeah.
to do it.
Oh, you did?
I would love to do it because man, you can travel if like where you're at, you can travel all the way to Grand Canyon, or you travel to Chicago. You can travel all kinds of places. You buy a car, you're all in this little car. You can buy it like a car for yourself, all ride in it, do whatever, sleep in it, spend like a whole week getting to certain places.
Really?
Yeah, man, it would be an awesome if you had the money, awesome vacation.
Huh.
Think about it.
I
Go
didn't
get
know.
in it and go all the way Grand Canyon and a couple. There's one that takes you to all the national parks. Well, out west, you'll go
Oh,
Grand
and on
Canyon,
train. Wow.
yeah, and a bunch of parks and stuff. There's some that'll take you to San Francisco. You can get out, do your deal, hang out in town, go to a hotel, stay in a hotel, and then come back, get on the train, come back on Dallas. Come back to Dallas.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
More of the trains come out of Chicago, but the problem is where you're at, you can get on the train, go to Chicago, and then take all these tours.
Wow.
See St. Louis.
You know what? I mean, I don't mind riding a train. I've been riding trains my whole life before I came to the U.S.
Yeah,
Actually, even I came to the U.S. because I live in New York. But like, I really would like to get on a bullet train. That's well, China has one.
I would like to ride a bullet train.
Because like, I'm still hoping that Dallas still make one to go to Houston that takes
Yeah,
30
I
minutes.
don't
Like,
know they
whoa.
ever will.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean, because the problem is people just in America, it's like we don't have the technology. Just people just don't want to spend the money
Yeah.
because the government pays for everything. Not here really. The government could, but the government's like, well, we want to, but nobody wants to.
So let me tell you about this. I want to say technology. So a long time ago, when I was living in New York, right, they used to build this like 18 passenger van that takes like Chinese people from Flushing to Manhattan and then Manhattan back to Flushing,
Yeah.
right? So the last time I went, not this briefly, it's like back in 2012 or 2000. No, it was 2012. Okay. I mean, I know this service. So one of my friends, like my childhood friends, right, told me like, "Hey, Lam, remember that van that takes Chinese people from Manhattan to Flushing? Yeah. So now they have schedules now and times. I'm like, really? Like it runs like a real van or like a bus schedule, like in New York. Like,
Yeah.
what happened? Like, oh, white people found out. I'm like, what? Because it mostly caters to Chinese people, right? So certain white people like pay attention to like, hey, where are those people going? They're going back to Flushing? What? I want to go to Flushing, but I had to take the train and whatever. This
Yeah.
van just strictly go from this stop, like outside like a Chinese supermarket or something, then just go to Flushing, and they don't have any place to park. So, oh, did I lose you?
Maybe you shouldn't have.
Oh, your
You
video
hear me?
came off.
Do you hear
Oh,
me?
I hear you. I just don't see your video.
Oh
This
my.
is really strange.
Always messes up.
Did you hit something?
Yeah. Bump the wire. It's my computer. If it
So
moves,
that's what it is.
if it moves,
It's okay. Since you can hear me, I was still telling the story of
right. If you want to tell the story while we got on.
It's just so funny because white people found out. Now they actually had to make a legitimate thing with this service. They had to have a bus schedule or van schedule and everything. It usually just be like, well, it is 4:30. Do you think it's running now? It's like, no, it definitely is running. A timetable and everything. I thought it was funny. They're like, hey, Chinese people was like, well, we just make this service and people want to ride it fine, but now we have to make this a legitimate thing.
Yeah. We got to make an entity and a
Yeah, because
company
like
and all kinds of stuff.
this is just from Flushing to the city and city
Yeah,
back
well,
to
that's the
Flushing.
thing. That's usually how it is. A bunch of friends get together, make something, and
Yeah,
everybody's
and then
like,
it's like, hey,
"Hey, we want on it."
it's
Yeah, we're
cheap.
gonna on it.
It's just going to one place. You know, it's gonna
It's
go
like,
there.
so you take your kids to school every day? Well, I want to put my kids on that bus.
Oh yeah, like that,
In
like
your
a
vehicle. Yeah,
carpool. Yeah.
yeah. And then before you know it, the car will just you got to paint it yellow. You got to get all these safety regulations. Oh, you got to have a Class B license to haul these kids around.
Oh, that's funny. Oh well. You know what? Let's
Yeah,
call it this
yeah. We might
time.
as well call it since
Rambling about other stuff, and I feel like I'm losing you a little bit. So
we're
we'll
not
see you
losing
guys
me.
on the next
I'm
one.
just having a little bit of technical
off.
difficulties.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.